Hello, my dear student friends. Myself, Professor Kishore Joshi, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Dr. D. Shinde, College of Engineering, Gadinglers, Badgaon. Today I am discussing about vibration measuring instruments. Okay, it's also one of the important chapter. So in this, first we'll go through what is the necessary of vibration measurements. Means what is the necessity of vibration measurements? First one is demands of high demands of higher productivity and economical design. So this is a very important factor. We need higher production rate and it is economically good design. That's why the vibration measuring is very important. Next is to select the operating speed. If I have taken one lathe machine, if it is imbalanced, I'm started operating, then what happens? It will starts vibrating. So this vibration measuring instrument helps us to operate in a good speed without any vibrations. Okay, next is theoretical vibration characteristics may differ from the actual values. So theoretically we can calculate the values, but when we keep the measuring instruments on equipment, at that time we'll get to know that how much vibration is going to occur in that particular body or machine. Okay, that's why the theoretical vibration characteristics may differ from actual values. Next, to identify the system in terms of mass, stiffness and damping. This is a three basic components where mass, stiffness and dampings are there. By using that we are going to identify the vibration. Next, to get the knowledge of input and resultant output vibration characteristics, means whatever input we are given, that resultant output vibration characteristics should be known by this measuring instruments. Next, to design an effective vibration isolation system, means by using these instruments we can design an effective vibration isolation system. Next, to measure the vibration frequency and forces developed. By this vibration measuring instruments, we can measure the vibration frequency and forces developed in the system. Next, here we can study the basic vibration measurement scheme. Means vibration measurement scheme. In this first one, vibrating machine or structure is to be taken as shown in the block diagram. Vibration machine and structure is to be taken. And next, vibration transducers. These are the very important parts of vibration transducers, where these are the vibration transducer what are using. These are going to detect the vibrations. Next, signal conversion instruments. Whatever the vibration transducer takes us signals from a vibrating machine, that has to be convergence takes place in this third place, signal conversion instrument. And next, which will come in the form of recorder, that is in a computer, it may be display unit, it may be recorder. And next, finally, the data analysis is going carried out. This is what basic vibration measurement scheme. This is basic vibration measurement scheme. Okay. Next we'll go for seismic transducer used in a vibration measurement are as below. As I told here, the vibration transducers are used in second block. Those are vibrometer and accelerometer. First one will go for vibrometer. Vibrometer means what? This vibrometer is used to measure the displacement of vibrating body. First thing is to measure the displacement of a vibrating body. It is designed for a low natural frequencies. Vibrometers are designed for low natural frequencies. And next, This instrument is used to measure any of the vibration characteristics. Means this instrument can measure any of the vibration characteristics. Okay, it may be displacement, it may be vibration, it may be acceleration, like this. The vibrometer means it is a seismometer. Okay, this vibrometer works for a large value of frequency of omega by omega n. Means this vibrometer works for a higher the frequency value of higher frequency ratio, that is omega by omega n. This as shown in a figure, see, this is a vibration body. It is vibrating along a y-axis. On that the frame is fixed. On the frame the rotor drum is fixed and with a spring, mass and damper which is displacing. Okay, this is what construction of the one system, where this roller rotates. How the mass is going to change its position or linearly, vertically, that is to be recorded by a small jet on a rotating drum, that as shown in a figure. The vibrometer consists of a frame in which seismic mass m is supported by a spring mass damper system with a base, as I told earlier. A drum is fixed on the frame and pointer on the mass. As told, z is this pointer on the mass. The amplitude of the motion of the mass over the drum represent the relative motion z. Means the amplitude what we are getting because of this mass, this is recorded on a rotating drum z, and this is called as amplitude z, capital Z. Let's consider the base is having a sinusoidal motion as shown in a figure, this w y sin omega t. Okay, therefore steady state relative amplitude of seismic mass with respect to frame is given by the equation z by y is equal to omega by omega n bracket square root of 1 minus omega by omega n bracket square whole bracket square plus 2 zeta omega by omega n bracket square. Similarly, the phase difference between the existing force and the relative motion is given by pi is equal to tan inverse of 2 zeta omega omega n divided by 1 minus omega by omega n bracket square. Okay, if omega by omega n is greater than 1, the related motion z is shown is to be equal to the amplitude of the vibrating body. Means z by y value what we are taking here, this is relative motion between the amplitude of vibrating body is equal to 1. Okay, zeta is a damping factor, it is taken from a plot that is 0.7. so z by y is nearly equal to 1 for over longer frequency ratio omega by omega n. So this instrument have frequency range between 1 Hz to 4 Hz. As I told, from where we are taken zeta value, from here we are calculated zeta value, the zeta is equal to 0.7. we are taking the damping factor. So this is a z by y plot, this is along y axis we are taken z by y. Okay, along x axis we are taken a frequency ratio. According to this we have calculated these values where z by y is nearly equal to 1. Okay, next we will move to accelerometer. This is the same concept where this seismometer, this is seismic meter. Seismic meter is this seismic meter is same matter we are going to use in accelerometer, where the accelerometer is a device used to measure the acceleration of the body. To measure the acceleration, that accelerometer is used, which is designed for high natural frequency. Natural frequency should be high. For that, the accelerometers are designed. The seismic meter instrument is also behaves like a accelerometer under a certain condition. If natural frequency omega n of the instrument is very high compared to the frequency omega, that is omega by omega n is less than 1, where the natural frequency is very high and lighten in construction it is. Okay, the same seismic instrument displays displacement velocity in addition to the acceleration by using electronic integration. To display displacement and velocity, the double integration kit it may be used in the system. So the instrument is very compact in size and used to measure the displacement, velocity and acceleration. This instrument is widely used in vibration measuring instrument, where the same equation comes, but the only matter what omega by omega n is less than 1 here. Okay, when it is less than 1, then the z value comes omega square y divided by omega n square. Okay, here see, there what can we are in vibrometer omega by omega and frequency ratio is nearly equal to 1 we are considered, but in this matter the frequency ratio is 0 to 0.5, where damping factor is 0.7. In general, the natural frequency of accelerometer is at least twice the greatest frequency of the acceleration recorded. Means whatever natural frequency of accelerometer is there, which is twice the frequency of acceleration recorded in the system. So for a good accelerometer, the natural frequency should be greater than 10,000 hertz. If you are using an accelerometer for calculation acceleration, its frequency should be, natural frequency should be 10,000 hertz. Next we will go for frequency measuring instruments. These are the most frequency measuring instruments are mechanical type, and these based on resonance. The two types of systems are Fullerton tachometer and Fromm tachometer. First we'll look for Fullerton tachometer. As I told, see the construction. It is one vibrating body. It is a vibrating body. It is a strip which is connected to mass at the end. It is a screw mechanism to tighten the strip. Okay, which is a distance of L. Okay, this instrument is called as single reed instrument, as there is only a single strip with a mass. That's why it is single reed instrument. It consists of variable length of cantilever strip with a mass attached on its end. As I shown, mass is attached at the end to this strip. Okay, next, the other end of the strip is fixed with a clamp. The other end of the strip is fixed with a clamp. Next, the length of the cantilever can be changed by a screw mechanism. This length L can be changed by the screw mechanism, where the strip is pressed against a vibrating body to find the natural frequency. The strip length is to be changed till getting a maximum amplitude of a vibration. Means in this we are going to connect. Now length L1 is there, we are tightening the screw. Once you tighten the screw, this strip is going to come and touch to the vibrating body. Because of that, this strip starts vibrating in this way. Okay, by changing the length of the strip, when the strip takes a maximum amplitude, at that time we are going to consider maximum amplitude of vibration. So for this instance, excitation frequency is equal to the natural frequency of the cantilever strip, and it can be directly seen by a strip itself. So natural frequency can be calculated by Fn is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of 3 EI divided by ml cube hertz. Now the second one is from tachometer. It is also called as multi-reed instrument. In last one it is a single reed, it is a multi-reed. It carries small masses at its free end as shown in figure. Okay, each reed has a different natural frequency and mark it accordingly. Every reed is having a different natural frequencies and those are marked. Okay, see in the figure the vibrating body is there. For that, by nut and bolt we have fixed the reeds, that is string with a mass. Okay, as shown in this. Okay, and the instrument is attached to a vibrating body. The frequency of vibration is to be measured, where reed whose natural frequency are nearest to the excitation frequency vibrates with the largest amplitude. Means vibrating body which vibrates, that the reed is also having the same frequency of vibration, then that reed is starts to move. That's why that is the amplitude we are getting in the sense. So the frequency of vibrating body can be found by known frequency of the vibrating reed. So this can be let mass of the attached reed m, length of the reed e, Young's model of elasticity of the reed material. Static deflection delta can be given by mg L cube by E3I, where L is equal to BD cube by 12. B is a width of the reed, D is a depth and thickness of the reed, and the stiffness of the each reed can be taken as K mg by delta. So natural frequency as it is 1 by 2 by root of K by m. Substitute the value of K, substitute the value of m. Finally, we will get a 1 by 2 by root of 3 EI ml cube by hertz. This is what about from tachometer. Okay, thank you all.